Chris, Tim Burgess, so happy to have you here.
Great to be here.
And we're gonna do something a little different here. Just gonna a little Q&A, talk about the new book, third book.
Yeah.
And maybe open it up to some questions from the crowd if that's cool with you.
Yeah.
But yeah, so obviously hugely successful career with the Charlton's UK. What drove you to be like, I want to start writing? What inspired that?
Just when I was a kid, really. Just always, just always felt like try to make something. Always interested in music, and I didn't really know that it would ever turn into something that I could do as a
career,
job or anything like that. But it just seemed like something that I always wanted to do. And I was always in bands with people that I really felt like I had a connection with.
Right.
And it just kind of went from there, really.
And in terms of like transitioning from being a songwriter to like writing books, was that a huge challenge for you, or did that come fairly naturally?
Well, I didn't really think about it that much, but I was asked to do a book that I called Telling Stories, which an autobiography, basically because an agent approached me, and I liked. He just kept buying me coffee and inviting me out to places that I wanted to go, and I was kind of quite into that, and I said I'd write something, and 3 years later, I handed something in that was 30,000 words, all in capital letters, no punctuation, and he liked it, but obviously that's when the work began.
Right.
So it's kind of
the editing.
Well, and more kind of like, kind of developing the story.
Right.
Really. So it took about 3 attempts after that. But that's actually missing out a bit of a chunk. But it's kind of you got the gist of it.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And in terms of the second book, of course, as a record store guy.
Yeah.
Very meaningful that you wrote a whole book about record collecting and around the world. Yeah. And so
a couple of records from your shop featured in the book, the Brooklyn store.
Yes. And so Tara Page from Mojo magazine, let's go down this rabbit hole. What was the first record that you ever remember purchasing?
Well, the first record I ever got, the first record that was bought to me was Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And then an Osmonds record I bought as a 6-year-old kid, Jimmy Osmond.
Yeah.
And then
really, the Osmonds made it to the UK.
Oh yeah, massively, yeah. And they all had very successful solo careers as well. Especially Jimmy and Marie and Donnie, yeah. And then my nan bought me Buzzcocks Love Bites, which was
very hip now.
Yeah. And I mean, she was kind of like, it was hinted, that's what I wanted.
Right. Okay.
And that was around the time of Ever Fallen in Love with Someone You Shouldn't Have, which is like just a classic, beautiful pop song. And tugged at my heart, my 13-year-old heartstrings, or 10-year-old heartstrings, or however old it was. And then, but the record that I bought for myself was Great Rock and Roll Swindle.
What was it?
Great Rock and Roll Swindle.
Okay. Yeah. Classic.
Yeah. I mean, people laugh because it wasn't their proper album, I suppose.
True.
But for me, it didn't matter at all.
Yeah, it's part of
cartoon,
the story.
Yeah,
totally. And have you reached the maximum capacity of I cannot buy any more records? How do you manage that as someone that has the affliction? Sometimes you have to keep that in check.
I do edit it.
Yeah.
I do have multiples of my favourites.
Yeah.
I hide some under the bed. And you know, and but shelf space is full. Yeah,
Right.
yeah, and you know, yeah. Just after, I've got to buy some more shelves.
Have you ever done this? I've done this where, like, if I see a record I love and it's like cheap enough and I have it already, I'll just buy it again.
Oh
Just
yeah, always. Yeah.
Just like I'm gonna give it to someone. Like it's criminal that this is here for this cheap.
Yeah, I mean, Modern Lovers album, you know, Brian Eno, Lion Sleeps Tonight,
Yeah.
Which you can get in Oxfam, you know, it's a charity
Right,
shop,
yeah.
you know, usually for no money,
Right.
you know, and I've got that about 10 times.
Yeah.
So 7 inches on Island Records. It's a bit, but it's a great one to hand to people
Right,
if they don't
right.
have it. You know? Same as Modern Lovers album.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
everyone would love that. You know?
Yeah, that's such a classic. So ahead of its time.
Yeah.
What's something recently that you've been kind of excited about? Anything new, or like maybe a reissue that was new to you? But people ask me that, and it always puts me on the spot. But
Yeah, I mean, reissues. I like a cast product, a French sort of minimal synth from probably. I don't know exactly the date. You probably know, but I would imagine early 80s. Really good. Modern stuff. I mean, I like to always. You know, I mean, I put records out. I've got a record label, and I'm not just trying to plug that, but I only have a record label because there's bands that I like that I don't know would ever see the light of day.
Right.
So Daniel O'Sullivan, who's now part of the band that I'm playing with at the moment, and also Rose Keeler Scheffler, who is Keelher, and so I put out both their records, and they're people that I really like. I like a band called Chastity Belt.
Oh yeah, they're great.
Yeah, I really like Ariel Pink. Sophie, who's just about to put a record out. That's with an F, not a PH.
SOFI?
SOFID.
Okay, not familiar.
Yeah.
I'll check.
Yeah. I think the record's about to come out. So.
Okay. Chastity Belt, I'm pretty obsessed with them, but
Yeah.
I get a little concerned for the lead singer. She sounds like so sad sometimes.
Oh yeah, I mean I've never met them or anything. I mean we've almost met, but I really like her lyrics.
Yeah.
And I think I like her hair.
As a man with a very infamous haircut.
Yeah, it's the same
that goes
colour as mine. So. That's why I like it. I just I really from Seattle Party onwards really I just thought they were cool.
Yeah. So the new book, One to Another, all about breaking down, going through song lyrics and then like talking about the song. Do you feel, was there any concern about debunking, I guess, like the mystical part of like what a song's about, what people read into it by kind of giving the backstory, or is that kind of fun to
it's kind of fun, and I'm also pretty good at disguising things in a way that that can keep the mystery alive, I think.
Right.
And I mean I don't know what all the lyrics are all about, and that's actually the truth, even though that creates mystery as well. Lyrics just kind of come to me, and I don't always question them. I just think something can sound really great and and I think if I just questioned everything, I'd never get anything done.
Right.
So.
Yeah. So who were some inspirations, like lyricists?
Oh, just everybody. Lou Reed, obviously, and the Beatles. Just
Yeah.
I don't know, just I can't even think, you know,
Right,
just
right.
Jonathan Richman.
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about what we've just said, but you know,
Right.
a girl from Chastity Bell. Peter Gabriel. You know.
Yeah. Do you would you be interested in maybe picking a song that you featured here and talking about, you know,
I mean,
inspiration behind it, or you know, you can all just buy the book, you know, and like.
Yeah.
The book is available for purchase outside, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know whether it's. I think it's quite a rarity in America.
It is. Yeah. This is
because it's not here yet.
It's not here yet, so
No.
this is your chance to grab it. So please, you know, pick up a
We
copy.
brought 18 copies.
Yes. Very limited.
There's 18 people in it, right?
18 brave people.
Yeah, exactly.
Who've hopefully washing their hands.
Yeah. Do you have to wash your hair as well? And okay. I mean, just you know, I think because it starts off with some songs that, or a song that was written like before Charlatans, and it goes through lyrics that I think I enjoyed looking at the words, but you know, some of them are a bit. Early ones are a bit cringy, you know, but I was like,
Right.
I like that though.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
it kind of like it makes me feel uncomfortable a little bit because, you know, you know, I was really pleased with them at the time, and
Right.
so they're recorded, and you know, they're documented, and they should be like that, and lots of people love them. So,
Yeah.
but
Exactly. I mean, it's like, you know, perspective changes. You've probably grown as a writer, but you know, it doesn't take anything away from it. You know?
No, exactly, and it's just funny, and I think, you know, you can feel comfortable in thinking that even like bad lyrics are good lyrics.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's plenty of hugely popular songs with terrible lyrics,
Yeah.
but you know, like they're just great songs, and you know, it's not.
We'll let them off.
Exactly. Yes. I'm trying to think of one. I think I was talking to somebody recently about like some of the Paul McCartney solo work, or New Order. For me, Bernard, like, you know, there's something so emotional and passionate about the way he sings, and how his voice isn't like amazing, but like you feel it.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you really sit down and look at some of those New Order lyrics, whew, boy. That's coming from a huge New Order fan.
Yeah, especially Perfect Kiss.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, was just trying to get the vocal track done that day.
I used to watch them. They're an amazing band to watch in the 80s because they would write songs as they were playing live.
Right.
So that's how they would write. They'd be testing them out in front of an audience.
Right.
And some of the lyrics were pretty spectacular, spectacularly bad.
Yes.
But in the best way, you know.
Yeah.
They'd be talking points for months.
For sure.
You know.
Yeah, for sure. So, you know, it's great to have you in New York City, despite everything, the chaos.
It's so great to be here. Always is. But I mean, even now, not especially now, it feels really great to be here.
Can you tell me about maybe your first experience coming to New York City, and you know?
Yeah, Mark Ronson came. He was 13 years old. To our first gig. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And that was at the Mayfair.
Huh.
Which isn't around.
Yeah, I don't even know.
Or was it Mayfair? Was it Mayfair? No, it wasn't called that actually. It was called Glory Mile.
Anyone
Our first ever gig?
in New York City?
No. No, it was before the Ritz. It was on the street. Well, it was between 10th and 11th.
Okay.
Marquee. That was it. Yeah. So the Marquee.
Yeah.
The first one. And I came to New York thinking it was going to be hot.
Right.
Because I didn't know anything. You know, I was from Manchester, thinking, no, I'm going to America.
What, do you remember what month it was?
Yeah, it was in January, and it was about 6 inches of snow,
Right.
and I didn't have any socks because I didn't wear socks. So that's pretty cool.
You're like listening to too many Beach Boys records.
Exactly.
Like,
Thinking
this is
just
gonna
got the East and West Coast mixed up.
And you know, obviously you've been here a lot. You know, is there any specific gig over the years that is especially memorable? Or
I just remember playing at the Limelight in '93, and it was just like the most insane. It was most insane. It was just, I mean, we went there anyway because we were always invited to parties there.
Right.
And but doing a show there was pretty.
I bet.
It was crazy. Yeah.
Wow.
That's Madonna came as well that night.
Oh wow.
And it was pretty intense.
That's pretty cool. Yeah. I don't know. Would you mind, like, if anyone in the crowd had any questions? If anyone wants to throw anything out, yes.
Really awesome. Thanks for sharing all that. What's been the biggest struggles that you've had in the music industry, and what advice do you have for current artists?
Great question.
Yeah, I mean, the struggles, just dealing with people that you don't really have anything, like, you know, just the business side of things is always quite difficult because artists and business don't really mix really that well, so it's always quite difficult. I mean, we've had, you know, big personal issues with like death and drugs and stuff like that, and in the band, and I think, you know, I think we handled that quite well, and managed to preserve and move on as well from those kind of things. So difficulties in all different ways, but I think it's like just life really, you know, you just maneuver and continue and try and get something.
Adapt,
yeah, and kind of like remember things, and
right.
you know, you forget lots of things hopefully as well, you know.
Right.
And I can't remember what the next bit was. What's the advice?
Just like advice.
Yeah, just to just continue doing what you believe in, I think.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Anything else?
Have you ever had writer's block?
Yeah, definitely, but it worked out okay. The second album by the Charlatans was probably our biggest album in America, and I couldn't really string a sentence together at that point because I was like, I was questioning everything so much. You know, it's like we'd had a huge success with our first album.
Right.
And the second album, everyone talks about the second album blues and stuff, you know, and things like that. And I just couldn't. I was in a recording studio. It was like hundreds and hundreds of pounds a day, you know, and everyone was expecting me to write some lyrics, and I couldn't even put anything together. It was really difficult, but I kind of ended up being all right, and it was a big, that Weirdo came out of those times, and can't be bothered, and people really liked those records, and the production was fantastic. So we had someone else to, you know, to watch over us a bit.
Was that like, did those songs come from like, okay, the deadline's here and I have to like make it happen?
It's just, everything was just a struggle, but yeah.
It didn't come as easy as.
No.
I mean, I guess that's what they always say, right? You have your whole lifetime to write your first album, and then it's like the second album is like the crunch. So.
They do say that, but then I always thought of New Order as my kind of like, you know, as my guide, and their second album was their best album.
Right.
So I was, you know, I was under pressure. You know, my favourite band wrote a brilliant second album.
Right. Fair enough. What else do I have here? This is, I mean, I'm sure you've been asked this a bunch of times, but I just think it's, you know, I think the Charlatans UK, as an American, as a young, you know, teenager when you guys came out, that was like the first band with the UK on the end of it. So could you tell the origin of, you know, discovering or being told there was another band, and how you guys navigated that? Because I remember just not getting that at all as a kid.
Okay, so when I joined the band, and they were already called the Charlatans.
Yeah.
Their singer left, and they wanted to change the name, but I convinced them to keep the name because I thought it was great.
Right.
Yeah. And we found out after The Only One I Know had come out in America that there was maybe around about that time, or maybe a little bit before, we found out that there was another band, and I was quite into psychedelic records and stuff like that, and I'd not really been made aware of them. And we heard them and we loved them. You know, we thought they were fantastic. But then there was a lawsuit, and again, you know, that's fine.
Right.
But we had to do something about it. We either, you know, paid $6 million or added something to the name of the band.
Prefix. Right?
Yeah, and I wanted to call it Charlatans England, because there was a football song at the time, World Emotion, I think, but then UK came about because I don't know, I think it just sort of, everyone kind of agreed on that. I think there was Mission UK.
Right, yeah. I guess Squeeze maybe at one
Squeeze,
point was
yeah,
had to be
was it
Squeeze UK.
Yeah, so
but I don't know
maybe-
if like that, because I know there's some albums that are Squeeze UK, but then of course the
Yeah.
London Suede.
London Suede, and was it like the Verve, British Verve or something? Oh, so they changed it. And yeah, so I think there's a history of it, but we were always kind of bugged because Nirvana didn't have to change their name.
Right.
And so by the time we got to our third album, we decided not to put it on just as a statement, and then we put a couple on the front of the album. So it was like Up to Our Hips, and there's just like
Right.
two people who are not related to the band at all. And I went into a radio station and they said, "Oh, there's still the band called the Charlatans."
Right.
It's like there they are. It's like, and everyone seems to sort of like, so it's just mad confusion.
Yes.
Just about the. But anyway,
Who you truly are.
I still don't know who we truly are.
Still figuring it out.
Yeah.
That's great. I definitely think that as a, like now in this era, it's so easy to just Google the name and figure out, you know, is it taken, is it available? But I'm sure in that time period, it was just, I've heard other stories. I actually heard recently that the original Nirvana was still kind of recording and putting out records.
Oh, really?
And apparently I don't know if it was as a, like to cash in or not, but that they did a cover of Come As You Are.
Oh, fantastic.
Just to like, just to kind of like mess with people.
Yeah, good, yeah.
So, yeah, I never knew that.
If you can't mess with people,
Exactly.
what can you?
Well, I don't know if you got any other questions. I think this has been so great. I appreciate
it's been
you,
great.
you know, entertaining my silly questions.
Oh, fantastic. Fantastic. Thanks so much.
So you're performing tonight, right?
We're playing at Delancey's tonight.
So, you know, I'm sure most of you guys, the hardcore fans, know, but, you know, check out the show at the Delancey tonight. And, I mean, would you be willing to sign copies if people are...
Yeah.
So we'll be outside. Do you guys want to swing by and chat with Tim?
Play some records, maybe.
Yeah, you're going to be spinning, right? So
Yeah, why not?
Why not? Well, thanks so much, guys.
Thanks very much.
Thank you, Tim. Such a pleasure. Stick around, more live music.